Hey YouTube, Strictly Broken here, doing another Strictly Rants for you guys today on a Saturday, never on schedule, but today we're on schedule. And today I want to rant about something that I see, when I communicate with card game players. And this isn't specific towards Way Shorts, this isn't even specific towards card games. But it's super aggravating and super annoying when it gets simplified down to different card game communities, and it's the whatever the word is, propensity. What's the word? Propensity. It's the propensity for people to just lie, and I don't mean like lying, like saying, "Yo, last night I got into like a foursome with like 3 girls. It was a great time." Kevin, last night I fucked like 3 girls, man. It was great. Not that type of lie. Because that lie, I think, is motivated by like an ego. That lie is motivated by that lie is kind of like you're trying to be like tough shit in a group, right? So you have a reason to like lie, or like maybe your other group members are like, "Yo, dude, I just fucked this girl," or whatever. Just all in all, like those type of lies, whatever to me. I'm totally cool with that. The type of lie I actually dislike, and it happens a lot in card games, is for people to just tell these ridiculous white lies that are just pointless. It happens a lot of ways. So here's a scenario for you. Here's Johnny and here's Joseph. Yo, man. Oh, I can't believe I just won that game. Like, I thought you were super compressed. What the heck? I had fucking like 6 climaxes and I was so unlucky. Wait, but you have 3 climaxes in the waiting room. How do you have 6 climaxes in hand? I had 5 climaxes in hand. But you triggered a climax in your stock like 2 turns ago and it's still there. Oh, that's the kind of lie. And you get like, there's no way in hell that you guys haven't like experienced this. Maybe you were the one who was the Joseph, or maybe you were the one who was the Johnny. And I'm not saying like being the Joseph is that bad. We all like to exaggerate and kind of thrill up our stories. Oh, I lost because I actually had 6 climaxes in hand. So it's such a fun story to tell people, but like it's just most of the time it's not true. And honestly, I don't understand why people have to over exaggerate the story to that point. So the thing that frustrates me the most is I sometimes play these games against some people, and like I remember exactly what happens through the entire game, because like I think one of the things I do well is I observe and I remember, right? And then so we reflect back on the game and they're like, "Oh, you triple canceled at level 1. Oh, you triple canceled at level 1, and then you triple canceled again at level 2. Oh my god, so lucky, man." Dude, I like literally single canceled once at level 1 and then double canceled at 2 after getting my compression. Like, that's not that lucky. What are you talking about? This is not even the game we played, man. You triple canceled. I don't know, like, how do I communicate with that? First of all, they're salty as fuck. Second of all, their story's not true. And third of all, they talk with like a fucking, like they have like a dick in their mouth. Like, how do you, especially when it comes down to me playtesting with certain people. Like, we're playtesting, and when you respond to me like that, like, why? Why? All the Johnnies and all the Josephs of the world, specifically regarding that, the Josephs, I actually do not understand. I don't understand why you need to tell such pointless lies. Like, no one records a game. Well, I mean, we record games sometimes, and like you'll watch the game, whatever. But like, and then people probably won't talk about those games. But for the vast majority of games that are played, no one records them, and I don't know why. I don't know why you would change the truth about, like, for example, how many climaxes in your hand. Why you would change the truth about how many cancels you do, just to sensationalize it and attribute your loss to something other than your own bad luck / your own misplays or something. I just don't understand why, to all the Josephs of the world. A lot of people viewing this right now will probably realize that on occasion you've probably done something like this, sensationalized your loss, sensationalized these things, and I myself, I'm not completely innocent. I'll probably I definitely will sensationalize certain things. Oh, my opponent triple canceled on me, but I was so favored to win. Maybe I wasn't even that favored to win, but like, I'll sensationalize it to make the story more interesting, get my friends hyped up, have a good laugh and stuff. But like, it's just so unproductive. And when it becomes like to the extreme of when you're telling me like, oh, you triple cancel like 3 times in a row, I can't win against that, you lucky fuck. I'll be like, fuck you, man. Like, what? And I know I'm going off a little bit on this, but it's just super annoying. Honestly, the real discussion behind this comes down to uh, do these things have kind of a negative impact? Because uh, like if telling these if telling these like white meaningless lies have no impact, it just makes people saltier. Like people like me who like clearly know what happened, but then you're just changing up the story to sensationalize your loss. Does it actually do something impactful? Well, it kind of does. It makes for a very uncultured environment, right? It's not a very good environment for first of all playtesting, second of all competitive play. Because honestly, you watch this video, and if you think this is yourself, I'm not trying to insult you. What I'm really doing here is calling forth an obvious thing that I've seen way too much, which is this like lying. So in waste, a lot of it has to do with like how many climaxes you have in your hand, how unlucky you basically were because you were flooded with 6 climaxes in hand. I've seen people flooded with 6 climaxes in hand, and they actually don't really gloat about it because they're so depressed about drawing 6 climaxes and outright losing the game. They don't go like, oh, I had 6 in hand. Or like your like how compressed you were. Oh, I die. I took 3. Like what I hear a lot is you're at, for example, 3-4. Oh, I shouldn't have taken 3. I had like 6 and 9 cards, and then you look at their deck. There's like 3 in there, and there's actually like 15 cards. Like that's something that happens so often. They're like, oh, I shouldn't have taken that. I was like 6 and 9. But then if you ask them to see their deck, they like don't let you see their deck. Or if they do let you see their deck, they'll be like, oh, I miscounted. It's just so frequent, man. I don't call out on their bullshit often because it's like, obviously when they're bullshitting like that, they don't want to be called out on it, so I won't do it. But sometimes I'm just not in the mood, and I'll just be like, fuck you, dude, just show me your deck. And like, you just call the bullshit, right? Other card games, Vanguard, same thing, hitting triple crit, trigger check stuff. Not as much. Like, games like Yu-Gi-Oh!, there's significantly less so of that because everything is at face value. There's no sack in Yu-Gi-Oh! But sometimes in Yu-Gi-Oh! They'll be like, oh, my hand was just too good. But you usually use up your hand for your combos and stuff. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Is less of a problem. Pokemon less of a problem, Magic less of a problem. It's really just this waste Vanguard type of dynamic for these games where people just really do exaggerate their story because a lot of information is concealed. And so you don't actually you don't have to show your opponent. And in that case, you can just exaggerate your story, make your loss, blame it on other reasons, some situational factors rather than your own reasons like your misplay or whatever. It's really not fun playing against people who over-sensationalize their losses and try to attribute everything to how lucky you were, how unlucky they were, how, ooh, triple canceling so It's fucking annoying. Very animated episode, very quick episode, very salty episode. That's all I gotta say about the topic. Leave a comment, maybe admit. You can stay anonymous on these type of platforms. Admit if you do this. I'll admit I've done it before. I try to not as much now that I've realized how salty it makes me. Like, I just really don't like to do it anymore. But since you're sensationalizing your stories when you lose, to your friends, to your buddies, to your opponent, one of the worst things to do in this type of card game. With that, I'm just signing out. See you guys next week.